we are currently in this official Marvel era of Disney Plus. WandaVision kicked off. We're on episode 3 of recording. Episode 4 drops in a few days. Man, this show is taking interest to a lot of people. You got so many Easter eggs, so many bombs being dropped on this very subtly. By the way, we got Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany acting their asses off in this shit. We got so many clues, and everyone's looking. What is this show going towards? What is the end game here? What is I want to see how this pieces all together to the MCU. And literally, people are almost quitting after episode 2 because they didn't watch Nick and Knight at a younger age or TV Land and didn't have the patience, almost not having the patience to stick with this thing and to see it continue further, man. I mean, what are your thoughts so far on these 3 episodes and overall what is how Kevin Feige has sort of teased and continued the MCU after a year unexpected year vacancy continuing with the MCU with WandaVision.
This is a lot to unpack right here, bro. Overall, through 3 episodes, and I watched all 3 episodes, and I've avoided any internet videos, any breakdowns, any of that. I've avoided all of that because I want to watch it. I want to watch it, and then when we get to the conclusion of it, I want to be able to go back and watch it and pick up on whatever I need to pick up on.
Gotcha.
And as far as this being the introduction to MCU television, I like it because it allows it allows them to be able to actually treat this as a TV show. Like the thing that we keep, I think the thing that gets lost in streaming is that we forget this is still television. For some reason, we view it as being something different because of the outlet, because you're not flipping through channels with commercial breaks and everything like that. But in the past, like you were saying, with Nick at Night, TV Land, even on Cartoon Network, past a certain hour, we get into the Flintstones, we get into Scooby Doo, we get into the Jetsons, Tom and Jerry. We got into that serialized type of television where same characters, same setting, different story for each episode, whether it be Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Family Matters, Martin, all of those fit that template of television sitcoms, right? You've never seen, to my knowledge, I'm sure they tried it with other types of TV series, but there's never been anything with the type of cachet and profile as the Marvel Cinematic Universe and them taking the two characters that probably had the best chemistry with each other on a romantic level throughout that entire enterprise and giving them a setting to where not only can they expand upon what happened with their relationship in the mainstream movies, but you're actually having fun with it. It doesn't have to be grim and gritty and serious and not be able to tell you a story that may be serious or tell you a story that might make you uncomfortable. It's just testing the viewers. I'm not going to say it's testing their knowledge, but it's testing their patience to see how long they're willing to stick with something that takes them out of their comfort zone. And I like that this show is willing to take you out of your comfort zone in order to make you earn whatever it is that's happening. Because in years past, that's what happened with some of these TV shows. In order to get to certain points in your favorite TV series, you got to sit through some of it. To answer your question, I feel like, and I like that this is the first introduction because they easily could have went the action adventure route with Falcon and Winter Soldier. I like that they're keeping the audience a little bit off balance with WandaVision. I also like that you have two established actors that got profile in these movies. Just think about it. The two of these actors are willing to reprise these characters on a 30-minute sitcom on a streaming app, bro.
Yeah.
Overall, I like it. I'm going to stick with it. And at some point, I know everything is going to come together. I trust that everything that they're doing is for a reason. And the fact that it's not too long, it's not like each episode is 45 minutes. I mean, shit, bro. Like Iron Fist on Netflix, every episode of Iron Fist ran 60 minutes in total. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Would I rather watch that or would I rather enjoy this? Come on, like there's no question there. Even with Luke Cage and Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones, even with the way that I enjoyed some of those episodes were a little bit too long. There was a lot of fat that was attached to certain parts of each season of those shows. So as of right now, I'm on board with it, and maybe my optimism towards this could come from the fact that I watched the first season of Legion. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of I kind of have a little bit of a grip on that type of storytelling where you kind of got to piece it together yourself. You kind of got to wait for everything to come together. Either you do that or you stop watching, you know?
Right, right, man. I feel the same way. I'm really enjoying it, man. These first three episodes, like I mentioned previously, I grew up on Nick and Night. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on watching TV Land. I grew up on watching, these kind of black and white shows on late night TV or whatever. So watching these first two episodes was kind of just walking down memory lane for me. And I enjoy watching these two actors act, man. I really do. I enjoy
Yep.
watching Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Bettany act in such a very small, low scale way, man. It's almost like,
Yep.
I won't say like watching a play, but it's just watching them perform and go at it. They have great
Facts.
chemistry. They got great chemistry. They're kind of going through not going through the motions, but it's like they're just really acting their asses off in the shit. And I'm entertained by their acting. I'm entertained by them in a different situation. There's no Cap. There's no Iron Man. There's no world stakes. There's a lot of mystery and intrigue to this thing. And I think for them, you could tell they're having fun. This isn't just we're back for another Marvel movie. I think they're having
Mm-hmm.
fun with the fact that this is such a different project and they're able to do these homages. They're able to do this different style of acting where it challenges them. We see so many times of these like Daniel Craig in the James Bond film saying, I want to retire from the role because all I do is action films," and he had to do some art films to feel like an actor again, and then come back.
Right.
So many times these actors get burnt out on these superhero shit. They need to fill their creativity. You know what I'm saying? They need to stretch their acting chops, and then when they do, they come back and they're refreshed and good to go again on these superhero roles. So seeing these
Right.
two come together, it's very enjoyable. I enjoy this Rubik's cube of a television series, and then I enjoy that this is kind of inside baseball. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of this shit is like Legion. I watch Legion too, and that shit was mind blowing of a TV series as well. The only difference between Legion and WandaVision is that basically Legion wasn't connected to the X-Men films. It wasn't canon.
Nope.
And that was a phenomenal TV series. I love Legion season one. I never watched season two or three. I need to catch up on it eventually. But
Right.
yeah, but if if Legion was connected to the Fox films, it might have had higher profile. But this is connected to the MCU, so it
Right.
has that profile to it. And I mean, let's face it, this is probably the most watched sitcom in the last 3 years. I wonder what
Yeah.
the numbers are like, but this is probably the most watched sitcom in the last 4 to 5 years, man. Let's honestly, man, the way they presented
Yeah.
this.
The other thing I was gonna say is that again, like all the way down from the first two episodes being in black and white to the laugh track being included, even though certain parts of it aren't actually funny, right? Those are all
Right.
tropes that make you. It gives you reminders to when sitcoms actually had the laugh track, and because the laugh track was installed on certain TV shows, you laughed at jokes that weren't even funny, even though and you did it unconsciously or you did it subconsciously, even though you knew the shit wasn't funny, because you
Yeah.
heard the laugh track, you were conditioned to laugh at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that the viewing audience has advanced past that point, it's there to make you uncomfortable. If you are confused and uncomfortable with what you are watching, you are supposed to feel that way. They're doing what it is that they set out to do if it makes you unsure of what you are watching. If you're actually questioning why you're watching this TV series, they're doing their job.
Exactly. They're doing a damn fine good job. And I know that might be a negative to some people who are out of the loop a little bit, who are thinking that where's the action or where's this leading to, or I don't understand all these references. Again, I feel like this is really inside baseball for us, the fans, because we know where this is leading to. We know if you read the comics, if you're really in tune with the comics, you know you pick up on a lot of shit that your average viewer of the MCU is not going to pick up on. They're going to be like, I didn't get it, but it's going somewhere now. Like this shit is for us to kind of pick apart, you know what I'm saying, and play with it a little bit and analyze. This shit's literally
Right.
like a Rubik's cube of a television show, and only the hardcore is really going to truly get it and understand it initially. And they did it directly like that. They did that intentionally. They intentionally made it so those in the culture who know these things are going to get a blast out of finding these little trinkets and these little clues out well before the casual viewer will. And I
And
respect Kevin Feige for making these bold decisions, man, on this series.
right. Cause it doesn't have to be and the thing that and it sounds like, it sounds like we're shilling for this right now. But the thing that I agree with everything that you said there because I think that this is kind of like a proving ground to introduce other characters that you're going to see somewhere later on down the road. Tiana Paris, very attractive black female actor that
Oh yeah.
I've seen her in a lot of other TV shows. Like she was on my favorite one of my favorite TV shows is Mad Men. She was on that show back in I want to say 2011, 2013. She was in the movie Dear White People as well in a prominent role. She was in Chirac, directed by Spike Lee. So, and on top of that, yeah, very attractive, very talented black actress. This is going to be her proving ground for the character that hasn't necessarily been revealed yet. And the fact that I don't even know what that character has to do with this show makes me want to keep watching. And I'm avoiding whatever spoilers I can avoid because I'm interested in what's going on here. Like, I just like the idea that because it's not a secret. The most popular genre in entertainment right now is superhero, right? The superhero
Right.
genre. I
Mm-hmm.
like that with Marvel Entertainment being the guys at the forefront of this, that they're willing to cross bridges and use what they have to make the best of other genres as they can. Because at some point, these superhero movies actually became good movies. At some point, Captain America crossed over from being just a box office, you know, franchise into actually being legitimately great action movies. The same way, whether or not people agree with it or not, the same way that I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy was able to cross over into being legitimately great science fiction movies. For me,
Mm-hmm.
Guardians of the Galaxy is up there with movies like The Fifth Element for me in terms of sci-fi comedy, but digress. Anyway, so if WandaVision can cross over from being a superhero property into being a great sitcom or a great comedy drama, I'm here for it because the track record suggests that that's something they'll be able to pull off. If people are polarized by it or turned off by it, that's okay. But you got to be able to see the bigger picture and understand what's going on. You know, for all of our Snyder cut heads out there that were suggesting that Batman versus Superman and the Justice League and Man of Steel were somehow redefining and deconstructing the superhero property and what was capable or what those things were capable of doing, what are we talking about right now? You know what I'm saying? We're literally talking in circles at this point in time, whether we know it or not. It just depends on what side of the street you want to fall into. But if that's what it looks like is happening right now, at what point do we recognize, okay, this is actually what's happening right now?
Yeah, you're right, man. I'm gonna go a little side tangent here. I'm glad we had the year break. I'll be honest with you. After Far From
Yep.
Home, I'm glad we got the year break. I'm glad Black Widow got delayed in the end. I'm glad we had a pause so we wouldn't have that superhero fatigue earlier. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that this came out before Black Widow, something that's different. I mean, a superhero sitcom, maybe only The Incredibles. I can only name so many of that that's on TV or the movies, whatever. If you want to count the Fantastic Four or 2000s movies as sitcoms as well, but you, the less said about those two films, the better, I guess.
Yep.
But this is so refreshing, man. I like that they went a different tone. I like that this is our first taste of this next 10-year, 15-year plan because a lot of seeds are being planted with this WandaVision series, man. A lot of little intricacies are being done with this shit, dude, to the point where it's kind of like I'm hearing. I mean, I don't want to do spoilers, whatever. I mean, yeah, fuck it. Spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear speculations or whatever, now's your time to, watch the episodes to catch up, whatever. But this is kind of the formation of the supposedly the formation of the Young Avengers, with the birth of those twins in the last episode, man.
Oh shit.
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if you know about the Young Avengers, but they're essentially just kind of like a Teen Titans version of the Avenger Squad with kind of just teenage versions of your favorite Avenger heroes, you know?
Right.
So we have, was it Kate Bishop in the Hawkeye series? There's rumors of the Patriot, who's like a young brother, a young teenage kid, black kid, who kind of takes up the Captain Mantle role. He supposedly in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. We have was it Ant Man's daughter? She is part of the team. She's going to be in Ant-Man 3, and now we have Wiccan and Speed, who were just born as twins in this series on episode 3,
Right.
and that's huge, man. That is, I mean, if they stick, I don't know if they're gonna break the reality or stay canon, but if these two characters stick around, man, I mean, that for a character like that to be premiered on Disney Plus, it tells you like, yo, you have to watch you have to watch the show, and I'm not sure that's gonna be negative or positive when you're watching the films, but it's like you have to watch the shows to keep up because you're gonna see Wiccan and you're gonna see the Young Avengers in an Avengers movie, and you're like, who the fuck are these people? And it's like, oh, well, you got to watch Disney Plus, man. They were introduced, 6 months
Right.
ago. You know what I'm saying?
So yep. So I gotta okay, so let's address this here then. I haven't I'm saying I haven't really peeped any of it out, but I know that it's there. What is some of the criticism that's been sent towards this TV show? Like what are the gripes associated with this TV show right now?
Some of the gripes for this TV show right now, episode 1 and 2, the pacing. People are not they're not patient enough. They don't have the patience for some of this. I'll be honest with you. They think we're in this information age, and if everyone wants quick, instant access to everything, and they don't want to wait on anything. So, the first 2 episodes, people are like, where is this going? Oh my gosh, I don't get this. Why is this like a sitcom? It didn't grab my attention. So, literally, it's just patience, the pacing, and also where is this going? Like the mystery. Those are the biggest criticisms so far. But for the most part, some of that was addressed with episode 3. We got a little glimpse of reality, and now everyone's like, oh, now I'm really interested now because it seems to be going somewhere. So we'll see where episode 4 goes. But for the most
Right.
part, some people just didn't watch Nick and Night as kids, or whatever. I enjoyed it as a throwback. How many of y'all watch sitcoms like that on a normal basis anyway? I know the Goldbergs are on Hulu or whatever. My sister watches it, but like, how many of y'all are really watching new sitcoms? How long has it been since you watched those old sitcoms at Nick and Night? You know, it's been years. It's been since you were a kid. I don't mind watching 2 episodes of something and homage to it, building up to something bigger in the end.
Right,
That's fine. That's fine with me. I don't need instant access, to know what's
right.
going on immediately.
And not only that, bro, but like I know for a fact that this shit is finna get dark, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
This shit is finna get very dark very soon.
dude, there is some.
It's
Yeah.
finna
If
get
you read, dude, I'm not even sure if they can even like with Disney Plus, the Mouse House to for them. If you read the comics, and if you're kind of in tune with some of the Easter eggs, I'm not sure how Disney Plus if they're gonna even allow half of this shit to happen in the show, bro. Like,
yeah,
I'm
but
not.
I'm not gonna hold you up though, bro. Like I do think I think this shit is gonna get dark. It's gonna, and when I say it's gonna get dark, I just mean it's gonna get dark in terms of addressing subject matter that I think hasn't really been tapped into with the MCU because
Mm,
we have yet, like, we've seen a lot of characters die in these
mm,
movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen characters actually die. We've seen Iron Man die. We've seen, half of, Thor's best friend died. Idris Elba got jobbed out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
He's probably happy with that too, but he got jobbed out in the first 5 minutes of Infinity War. We've seen this happen in these movies. You know what I mean? But this is the first property associated with the MCU that addresses one of the characters you've seen actually dying, and either the person, his significant other, or him himself come into grips with the fact that he's dead and doesn't know it yet, right?
Right,
That
right.
within itself, that's dark subject matter that is new to this particular medium. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for that alone. I'm here just to see that moment where the light bulb goes off for this character that doesn't realize he's not alive anymore. You
Mm,
know, he's not a sentient being, quote unquote. He's still a work of science. Death isn't something that Vision probably even thought was something he'd come to grips to. So how does a machine come to grips with no longer being alive? You know what I'm saying? He was in the process of learning humanity and then died. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So the process of learning humanity still means you got to come to grips with death. And this is something that happened to you while you were in the process of learning
Mm,
it.
right,
Like,
right, dude. And we're all gonna
so,
be it's gonna be heartbreaking too because we're literally
right,
seeing their lives play out in a way where they live happily ever after. And we know this
right.
shit's a lie. We know this shit's a
So,
lie.
so yeah, and I'm here for that. And the criticisms of the pacing, like, let's be real here, bro. Anybody who watched the first season of Jessica Jones or even the first season of Luke Cage, bro, storm me out with talking about pacing. Like, don't talk to me about pacing, bro. And I love Luke Cage, but don't tell me that you got through those first 6 episodes of Luke Cage and it was an easy watch, or that you got through the first 6 episodes of Jessica Jones season one, and that was an easy watch. Like, don't talk to me about pacing, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to
Talk
hear it.
that talk, man. Talk
I
that
don't,
talk.
I don't want to hear that shit because every episode of all those shows on Netflix ran 60 plus minutes, and it was not all engaging television. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with that.
Oh shit, man. You ain't tell no lies, bro. You ain't tell no lies.
Like, kind of last thought on this. I want to ask you this
Uh,
question here.
I
With you, again, we address this. You do the knowledge when it comes to these here. Do you think that WandaVision could possibly lead into a form of House of M. Are we going that way? Is it possible we could be going into an MCU version of House of M?
Nah, too early.
Too
Nah,
early?
still too early. Maybe a little trinket of a sign of a mutant. Maybe just a little something. Maybe like, oh, was that a mutant in that or not? But still too early for that, man. I think they pretty much confirmed that this is kind of the intro to a whole three movie trilogy of the multiverse, where the multiverse gets introduced. The multiverse is caused in WandaVision and then gets expanded upon in Spider-Man 3, and then the finale is Doctor Strange 2, where Wanda is going to be sort of the villain, quote unquote, and that. So I think it's still too early to introduce mutants. I think they announced the Fantastic Four is going to be the first move. Man, like I know I was watching these episodes, I'm like, oh shit, man, like no more mutants, like M Day, yo, like oh that'd be fucking awesome. But this is more along the lines of I think like Avengers disassembled. This is kind of like Wanda kind of going crazy. This is like her leading up to saying no more mutants. This isn't exactly her at that moment, but I think it's still a little bit too early in the MCU. But talking about mutants, that's a good segue, man, because
Okay. Okay.
apparently, rumor has it that Pietro Quicksilver will be making an appearance in this TV series, right?
Okay.
Rumor has it
I
that Quicksilver is coming back, the actor. He may not be. He's going to be Quicksilver. We don't know. We don't know if he's going to play something else. And then one is going to be like, "You look familiar." We don't know that, but we there's rumor that Quicksilver is going to be making a cameo in this TV series, right?
see. I thought it was him in the beekeeper suit in episode one.
Hmm. I thought I don't know the beekeeper suit and the bees. I thought it was Swarm from fucking Spider Man, but I don't know, man. I thought that might have just been something to throw you off, dude. I was like too much in
I
the comic
thought
lore.
I thought that was him in the beekeeper suit. And it's
Mm,
funny, you know what's crazy is that now that they have the rights to the actual name of Quicksilver, they can actually call him Quicksilver.
right. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the interesting part. Apparently, Evan Peters, Quicksilver from the Fox movies, he's in this shit. Apparently
Whoa,
he might play a role in this
whoa.
shit. Yes.
Okay, see, let's get it. I'm here for that.
You know what I mean? So I'm not sure if he's gonna play Wiccan. We don't know what role he's gonna play, right? But it'd be very come on now with the inside baseball and this shit. You're gonna have you're gonna have the Marvel Quicksilver meet the Fox Quicksilver in a sequence on a Disney Plus streaming platform. Well, only us who really freak out about the interaction, while the average user, the average
Right.
viewer would be like, what's the big deal? But you're literally seeing
Right.
two Quicksilvers interact with each other in a
Yeah,
show.
I got a wrestling reference there for you, bro. That's like when Taz wrestled Mike Awesome in ECW, right? Taz was under contract with WWF. Mike
Uh huh.
Awesome was under contract with WCW, but they wrestled in ECW for the ECW championship.
Yo, man. Yep. Just like that shit, man. Just like
and,
that shit.
and
I'm
yeah,
down with it, man. I'm a fangirl. I'm a fanboy over that shit, man. I'm gonna be the edge of my seat if that even happens. But when I see it, I'm like, oh shit, this is
yeah,
literally gonna be like fucking Bobby Drake coming back in the fucking boys, you know, like it's pyro,
yeah.
man.
Um, that would be some funny shit right there. Like I'm here for that. That's fan service done right without going into the territory of appearing that you're pandering. But
Right.
yeah, man, I don't know how many episodes this is gonna be.
I think it's
Whenever
8.
they, yeah, whenever they get through the run, I think we can revisit this because
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that as this show progresses, it's gonna get away from being more cheesy and hokey and everything like that. Like if that part of it makes you cringe a little bit, it's supposed to because later on that shit is gonna snatch your heart. It's gonna take Like they're gonna take your heart, bro. They're really gonna do that. I have a feeling that they are really going to tug at your strings a little bit and make you feel a way about what it is that you're watching.
Right,
So,
right.
at some point, man, I just think that the hammer is gonna get dropped on Vision, bro. And when it happens, it's not gonna be pretty, man.
No, we never got that. We never got closure with him. It
Nope.
happened in Infinity War. It was quick. It was shocking, and there was
Right.
like after that, we didn't get a chance to mourn his death. I mean, we got Iron Man. Tony got his funeral. We mourned over Black Widow. You know what I'm saying? Vision was just kind of part of the. Even Loki got a little bit like, damn man, Loki gone. But Vision was just.
Right. Last kind of little funny thing here. Do you think the Eastern European accent is gonna come back? Is the
It
accent
already.
gonna come back?
I think it already did. Didn't she sing that song, the little lullaby in Slovakian accent to her to the twins? I think it already came back.
Right. But within that headspace, okay. Whenever they break out of that, whenever she comes out of that,
Uh
do you think that the accent will come back as far as the character having it? You know what I'm
oh
saying?
no, no, Elizabeth Olsen
No.
can't carry that accent. Nah,
So the accent is gone. You think the
accent is
accent is
gone.
out of there?
Accent is out of there. I don't think Elizabeth Olsen can carry the accent, man.
I think
I'm
it's
be real
coming
with
back,
you.
bro.
You think it's coming back?
Once once she breaks out of the matrix, once
uh
she unplugs herself from the matrix, the accent has to come back. Like Marvel, they're too on point when it comes to their continuity for them to allow it not to come back.
so
You know what
she
I'm
goes
saying?
she goes villain, and here comes the accent to differentiate herself from her
Absolutely.
normal version. Okay.
Yeah. When they break out of
Shit.
when she breaks out of the matrix, bro, the
Mm-hmm.
accent is coming back, man. It has to. It has to come back. It has to come back, man. Otherwise, like the last 10 years of them being so careful with stringing everything together won't count. Like, nah, the accent has to come back, man. But it won't come back. It won't come back while she's in the Matrix. When she comes out of the Matrix, it'll come back.
WandaVision, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for, Monica Rambeau, whatever they got plans for her
I'm not even
continuation.
gonna Google it. I'm
You're
not
not even
even
gonna
gonna
Google
Google
it?
Monica. Nope.
Oh man,
I
I'm
don't
I'm
want to
I'm
know.
hyped.
I don't want to know nothing about Monica Rambeau. Respectfully, I don't want to know anything. Nope. I'm staying away.
Yeah, man. Dude. It's hard to stay away from the spoilers, man. It's hard to stay away from those clickbait articles. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get away from those decoders and all this shit, man. But for real, Marvel and Kevin Feige, they're on their shit. Disney's on cruise control right now. As far as I'm concerned, if this shit only gets better from here and people are able to, I guess, stomach and wait through these two episodes to get to the good stuff, man, like people are gonna be discussing this shit for a while now, especially heading into Falcon and Winter Soldier, man. And man, I just gotta say, big ups to the MCU for keeping us intrigued still after 10 plus years, keeping us, you know what I'm saying, still talking about it, still hyped, still excited, still feeling
Yep.
like there is no superhero fatigue, Whether whenever that runs out, whenever that time comes, it'll come, but shit, man, the genre keeps expanding. It keeps exploring different genres. It keeps growing. It keeps growing in quality to the point where you're like, these are quality movies. These are not just superhero movies. These are not just superhero TV shows. I mean, Daredevil, Netflix set it off. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Captain America, Winter Soldier set it off. Dark Knight set it off. This shit ain't gonna stop for a while, man. And I'm excited to kind of live through this time period as a comic book head, as a blurred or whatever, seeing this shit come into reality. And as a fan, man, I'm hyped. I'm hyped for this shit, bro.
I agree 100%, man.